So I've been reading up on the neuropsychology of curiosity. Yes, it is a thing that is studied. It's been studied for a long time. From my point of view, boy, is the bar set pretty low. I think we're in trouble. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic, and this is Brain Snob, episode 29. I want everyone to be a brain snob. It's not an insult, it's a high compliment. It means you know a lot about the brain and how it works, so you can give yourself amazing experiences. Because a burdened brain is a disease magnet and lost talent. But a performing brain can change the world. The brain makes the body, so let's make your life. When you come to the office, you will get the BFA roadmap for the healing journey, and you'll get the BFA template. What is BFA? It's brain first always. It's the protocol I use in the office to help people reach their goals. And it's not a goal to be pain-free or symptom-free. That's just the very tip of the iceberg. We want people to live vibrantly, with purpose, with meaning. And that's why I'm focusing on the neuropsychology of curiosity, or you can look up the neuropsychology of motivation. What makes people want to learn more about themselves, about where they are, why they got where they are, how they can improve where they are? And sometimes I get a little bit depressed because the bar is set pretty low. Some people just think this is as good as it gets. That's not so. That definitely is not so. And society sometimes kind of tamps down our curiosity. But you can do a lot. With the advent of the internet, you can read and learn. And even if you come across information that is kind of iffy, you've got the brain power to sift through it and figure out what direction you want to go in. Follow your interests. My interest is how to help people be healthy enough so it's not a distraction in their life. Your health should not be a distraction. Your health should not slow you down. Your health should not put a change in your plans. Put the brakes on your plans. That is my motivation, and my curiosity is always looking at what else do we not know about the brain yet? What's around the pike? What are we learning? What are we putting to work in the effort to keep our brain healthy? Because I look at the three doorways. Move your brain, feed your brain, talk to your brain. And how we talk to the brain is very interesting. And I call it taming the lion and the lamb within. So come to the office and get more information about what I'm talking about here. What do I see in the office? I see people waiting until the last minute, until they are unable to do it themselves, or they have reached a point where they are frustrated. They come in under such a level of severe stress as it's grown. As I always say, the water is rising, then the dam breaks, and that's when people do something. The severe stress is affecting them, and at that point it's already in the zone of brain impairment. The brain is impaired. That's why people are frustrated. They don't know what to do next to help themselves, and they either seek out help or they stew about it, because now they really have lost their bearing. What do I do next? Is it going to work? And I think that's a lot of what people have going in their minds. Is it going to work? It's not going to work. I've tried everything. You have not tried everything. If you haven't visited this office and asked me, what is the BFA protocol? You have not tried everything. And I know a lot of people who still, they know the BFA protocol and they are balking, struggling with some of the points. Because they're doable. They're very doable. They're at your fingertips. But it takes a little bit of commitment, and some people have a fear of commitment, or just a fear that what I'm talking about isn't working. But I'm focusing a lot on What's in the science? What am I reading? And that's why I actually found an NIH article called The Psychology and Neurology of Curiosity. I'm curious and I wanted to find out about it. It's a long article. As far as I've gotten in it is we have a survival mechanism to be curious. If we aren't, we die. We don't survive. The stronger, the more curious, they survive, and everyone else kind of, they don't make it. They're gone. They're out of the history. And survival of the fittest, and you need to have that motivation. You need to have that curiosity. It's wired into our brains. And in lower animals, it's focusing on getting food, getting water, and reproducing, and staying away from predators. But we have a higher level functioning brain, and sometimes that higher level of functioning gets in the way of our own survival. So it can be a double-edged sword, and I want you not to have that double-edged sword, but to find that balance. How do we keep the brain from being impaired? Because if your prefrontal cortex is deprived of blood flow due to the fight or flight response, which would be the severe stress I'm talking about, you can't make an adequate decision to improve your life if your brain does not have that blood flow at the prefrontal cortex. I would rather have people come in the proactive zone, not in that severe stress zone, because you can do it, you can get out of that severe stress zone, but it takes a while. It takes practice, it takes repetition, it takes time. Healing takes time. We've got to work with the body, not against the body. And a lot of healing takes time. Time away from that severe stress, absolutely. And I said in a recent blog, I said, I don't want to be fooled by silent inflammation. Me personally, in my life, I don't want to be fooled by silent inflammation, or surprised by an unexpected illness. Because we can feel great and we can feel healthy. We can tell ourselves we're healthy. But if we're not paying attention to what really causes inflammation, that stuff festers and festers silently. You may look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm healthy. My blood work is normal. And I can tell you, normal blood work doesn't automatically mean you're healthy. And I've seen that over time and time and time again with people. There's one important finding that you can't overlook. Come to the office and I'll tell you what that important finding is. You can tell yourself. You don't even need lab work for this one important finding. So come on to the office and ask me about it. So I don't want to be surprised by an unexpected illness. And that's why I have narrowed it down to the 5, I call it the generic frustrations that cause brain impairment. I call it generic because they don't give you a diagnosis where doctors can dive in and give you a treatment. But these 5 generic frustrations are joint pain, brain fog with anxiety tied to that brain fog, fatigue, digestive troubles, and there's a whole slew of those, any kind of digestive trouble, and hypertension. Those 5 things. Come to me and let's talk about it, and we will come up with a specific plan to improve brain impairment. But these are the earliest signs. They're kind of vague, they're kind of generic, and you may not know what direction to go in with those issues, but we can do that if we focus on how to best move the brain, feed the brain, and talk to the brain. There we go, the BFA protocol. I also read this book years and years and years ago, Change or Die, and this was published in '07. Here's the author. I actually sent him a message on Facebook, don't know if he got it, but I said, you need a follow-up to this book. 90% of people who are told if they don't change their lifestyle, or you'll die, 95% of the people don't bother. They don't do it. They don't change. One is they're not actually told what is the right way to change. The BFA protocol is going to give you better results. If you don't know what to do, then you just stay stuck. You're spinning your wheels. And that's part of the motivation of curiosity. Are you motivated enough to teach yourself? A lot of this requires self-teaching. It also requires being able to discern what information is useful and what information is not. And when it comes to health, there's a lot that is old school, old theory, disproven, but still on the forefront of everybody's mind. Wrong information. And that's why people are spinning their wheels. Not only that, but they have fear of doing something different. In this book, Dean Ornish is highlighted. How does he get people to improve their heart health? And I'll sum it up in three short answers. You immerse yourself in change. You don't do it baby step. You don't stick your toe in the bathtub. You immerse yourself and you change everything. That includes your mental look at things, your spiritual look, and the way you deal with your job, the way you deal with your family. And there's a lot of lifestyle changes that need to be totally switched up. So he focuses on a lot of diet, a lot of exercise, and a lot of emotional de-stressing. And immersing yourself in it is the only way to do it. And the other part is to reframe the way you look at things. You can say something in one sentence and redesign it in another sentence in order to have your brain flip around and be more positive and be more forward thinking. So there's a pessimism-ness that we have to get over that. Flip it around into an optimistic, reframed way. And also the third way was to have group support. Don't do it alone. You need total support. Everybody around you should be doing it with you. Whatever that health change is, you don't do it by yourself. We are wired for connection. We are wired for social engagement. That's why we have higher brain function out of the whole animal kingdom on this planet. That's how we're wired. We have to take advantage of it, use it the right way, and be curious together with your friends, your tribe, your group. Your social connections are important. And I address that in the BFA protocol. So let's dive into a better future with a better brain. How do we do that? We watch the videos and make comments below and start a nice, awesome, cool discussion. Read my blog. It's called createpurpose.com. Also watch the office orientation video. Click the like button, click that subscribe button, and hit the bell so you know when the next video is on its way. I want you to be a brain snob so you can be that positive ripple effect in your community. Thanks for watching.